Welcome everyone. This is the starting of the course App Development with Flutter. This video will be pretty basic as this video will completely cover the introductory part. Keeping in mind that someone enrolling in this course will be pretty new to this stuff, we'll be covering all the basic things required for app development. We'll be seeing the topics like what is an app, what is application development, what is Flutter, why we need Flutter, what are the alternative way of app development. We'll talk about the future of Flutter and app development. We will see what is Dart, what are its use cases, then we will check the capabilities of Flutter and Dart. We'll talk about IDEs, what is VS Code or Visual Studio, what are the prerequisites while installing Flutter, and what is Android Studio. We are going to discuss all the required things for application development. Introduction to app development. So once again, welcome to our comprehensive guide on app development. Today we embark on a journey to understand the intricacies of creating digital solutions that impact millions. So let's start with what is an app or application. Applications have evolved over decades, from the early days of desktop software to today's cloud-based solutions. Apps have transformed how we interact with technology. An app, short for an application, is like a digital tool or program you use on your phone, tablet, or computer to perform specific tasks such as sending messages, listening to music, or checking the weather. Think of it as a mini software designed to make your digital voice more useful or entertaining. It is a software program designed to run on specific environment or platform. It consists of a set of instructions and data structures that, when executed, allow users to perform specific functions, tasks. The concept of applications started with early computers in 1960s. These were primarily command line tools used for specific tasks. In the 1970s and 1980s, with the advent of personal computers like the Apple II and IBM PC, software applications became more user friendly, featuring graphical interfaces. The 1990s saw the rise of the Internet and the World Wide Web, also known as WWW. This led to the development of web browsers and the first web applications. Softwares like Microsoft Office started dominating the desktop application. The launch of iPhone in 2007 and the subsequent introduction of the App Store in 2008 marked a significant shift in the app landscape. Mobile apps became mainstream. Android followed suit with the Android market, now Google Play Store, further fueling the app boom, the mobile app boom. The app ecosystem exploded with millions of apps available across various platforms. Progressive web apps, PWAs, emerged, blurring the lines between media and mobile apps. The focus shifted towards user experience, performance, security. Talking about types of apps, web apps. Web apps are applications exist exist via web servers over the internet. They don't need to be downloaded or installed on the user devices. They are platform independent, usually built using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Modern web apps known as progressive web apps (PWAs), offer offline capabilities and can mimic the feel of native apps. Mobile apps. Mobile apps are designed to run on mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. They can be native, that is, developed for a specific platform like iOS or Android, or cross platform, developed to run on multiple platforms using frameworks like Flutter or React Native. They utilize the device's hardware, software, and features more efficiently than web apps. Desktop apps. Desktop apps are software applications designed to run on desktop computers. They are platform specific, Windows, macOS, Linux, and are usually more powerful than web or mobile apps. Examples including Microsoft Word, Adobe Photoshop, and VLC Meetup. So why do we need apps? The digital age has been a shift in user behavior. Apps like Uber and Airbnb have revolutionized industries, showcasing the power of well-crafted applications. Digital transformation. We live in a digital age. Apps bridge the gap between the physical and digital worlds, offering round the clock accessibility, whether it's news at your fingertips or instant services. Apps have transformed how we access the information and services. Apps are designed with the user at the heart of it all. They analyze our preferences, behaviors, and needs to offer personalized experiences, from tailored music playlists to shopping recommendations. Apps curate experiences unique to each user. For businesses, apps are more than just digital tools. They open doors to global markets, provide a direct line of communication with customers, and foster loyalty. Brands can engage, retain, and grow their customer base all through the power of apps. In a mobile first world, businesses are leveraging apps to enhance user engagement, drive growth, and stay ahead of competition. That's the need of app development. The world is increasingly becoming mobile centric with a significant shift from desktop to mobile. People prefer accessing informations and services on the go. Apps cater to this mobile first approach, ensuring users have what they need and whenever or wherever they are. In a saturated market, businesses need an edge. Apps provide that edge. They serve as a direct marketing channel, reaching customers without intermediaries. Moreover, apps allow businesses to receive real time feedback, helping them to adapt and improve. Future of apps. The app landscape is ever evolving. In our day to day life, we see a new app outperforming other apps. Now, every product or service, or even a new startup, needs an app because app is like a requirement these days. The future apps will be deeply personal. Driven by data, they will offer tailored experiences. Interfaces will evolve with voice and gesture based interactions becoming mainstream. And regardless of the device or platform, apps will adapt, ensuring a consistent and user centric experience. IoT and connected ecosystems. The Internet of Things IoT is set to revolutionize the app landscape. Imagine apps controlling your home, integrating with your wearable tech, and creating a seamless connected ecosystem where every device communicates and collaborates. The future of apps is intertwined with cutting edge technologies. AI will make apps smarter, AR and VR will redefine user experiences, and technologies like blockchain will introduce a new era of decentralized applications. Behind every seamless app experience is a robust architecture. Let's dissect the components that make an app tick. Foundations of an app. App architecture is the blueprint of your application. Much like the foundation of a building, a robust architecture ensures stability, performance, and an optimal user experience. It is the balance between technical excellence and user delight. Core components of an app. Let's dissect the core components. The front end is what users interact with. The back end processes and manages operations. Databases store and provide data. And APIs, they are the messengers ensuring seamless communication between the different parts of an app. The modern trends in app architecture. The architecture landscape is evolving. Microservices allow modular, scalable app structures. Serverless architectures lets developers to focus on code, offloading infrastructure management. And with containerization, apps are becoming more portable and manageable thanks to tools like Docker and Kubernetes. And to that point, we are also going to create a Docker course and we'll talk through the basics and then similarly we go to the advanced topics. So wait for that question. Why choose app development as a career? Now here comes the important part. Why choose app development as a career? The tech industry is booming and app development stands as a promising and fulfilling career path. Let's look at some of the reasons. We are in the digital era, mobile devices dominate. Businesses are undergoing digital transformations, and apps at the forefront of this revolution. App development isn't just exciting, it's lucrative with high demand, competitive salaries, and opportunities, ranging from startups to tech giants. It's a field with immense potential. Being an app developer means continuous learning. With an ever evolving tech landscape, developers have the chance to shape the future and be part of vibrant collaborative communities. Choosing the right development approach is crucial. Each method, be it native, hybrid, or web, has its strengths and challenges. Native development focuses on creating apps for specific platforms. It offers optimized performance and utilizes platform specific languages. Hybrid deployment, development. Hybrid development allows for cross platform apps with a single code base, offering a balance between performance and development speed. Flutter itself comes under this section. Web apps. Web apps are platform independent and are accessed via browsers. With technologies like PWAs, as we discussed before, they offer app like experiences without installations. Among the pyramid of development frameworks, Flutter stands out. Let's delve into its strengths and why it's talk of the town. So you can also see some of the features in the slide itself. Flutter's magic lies in its cross-platform capabilities. A single code base can produce apps for both iOS and Android, ensuring a consistent experience. And this is like one of the most important features of Flutter. Flutter's hot reload offers instant feedback, allowing developers to see changes in real time, leading to faster development cycles. Behind Flutter's success is a strong community. With a vast library of plugins and packages, developers have resources at their fingerprints. Facing any problem with Flutter, just ask the Flutter community and they will be ready to help. Using Flutter is one thing, mastering it is another. We'll explore best practices on how to get the most out of this framework. You can already see some of the things like beautiful UI, Flutter's widget library, and customizable widgets make creating visually stunning user interfaces easy. Rich functionality. Flutter offers a wide range of plugins and packages to enhance the functionality of your app. Fast development. With Flutter, you can develop apps faster, reducing time to market and increasing efficiency. To harness Flutter's full potential, it's essential to adopt best practices. This includes efficient code structuring, effective state management, and regular performance profiling. In Flutter, everything is a widget. This philosophy allows for high composable and reusable components, making UI development a breeze. Flutter is not just about ease, it's about flexibility. Developers can easily theme apps, ensuring brand consistency, and even integrate native code when needed. These are some of the big names using Flutter. Major players have adopted Flutter, and their success stories are testament to its capability. Even Google itself uses Flutter in their various platforms, and rest examples are Alibaba, Reflectly, Grab, and many more. And we can even check this online. Let me just open a new tab. So we can search here some of the popular apps that are based on Flutter. So these are this list itself. Just click on the first link. So this is the official website of Flutter itself, and they have featured some of the stories. So you can see all these apps like A-Base, Road Studios, Alibaba Group, and BMW, Google Pay, ByteDance, Crowd Shows, Dream 11, eBay, and you can see all these famous apps. And later in this course, we'll make our own app and we'll see how these apps are developed. So let's go back to the slides. These are some of the big names that are using Flutter. Now introducing Dart. Powering Flutter is Dart, a language that's both robust and versatile. So let's understand its strengths. Dart is a modern, expressive programming language developed by Google. It's designed with UI development in mind, making it a perfect fit for Flutter. Now let's see some of the features of Dart. Dart boasts features like object-oriented principles, a rich standard library, and strong typing, ensuring a robust and maintainable code. Why Dart for Flutter? Dart's seamless integration with Flutter, its hot reload capabilities, and performance optimizations make it the language of choice for Flutter development. Let's talk about the IDEs for Flutter. A developer's toolkit is incomplete without the right IDE. We'll explore the features of popular IDEs, how they enhance the Flutter development experience. An integrated development scenario environment, sorry, an integrated development environment, that's the full form of IDE, is a software application that helps programmers develop software code efficiently. When developing with Flutter, developers have a choice of powerful IDEs. Android Studio, Visual Studio Code, and IntelliJ IDEA are among the most popular. These IDEs offer integrated Flutter tools, from plugins and extension to inspection, performance profiling. They provide everything needed for efficient Flutter development. Choosing the right IDE. So, choosing the right IDE often boils down to personal preference, specific project requirements, and team collaboration needs. However, we will use VS Code in our further videos. Now let's talk about some of the prerequisites for Flutter. Before we dive into Flutter development, there are some prerequisites. We'll guide you through the setup process to ensure a smooth start. To get started with Flutter, several prerequisites and system requirements are required. And we know that certain system requirements need to be met. These include the operating system, disk space, and having Git installed. For your information, Flutter can be installed in any operating system, whether you talk about Linux, Windows, or macOS. However, there are several other methods for installing in those OS. For like installing in Windows, there is a different method, while installing in Linux itself is a different method, and similarly for the macOS. However, in this whole course, we'll use Windows as our operating system. So further in the videos, like when we'll talk about the installation process, we'll give demo around the Windows operating system. So operating systems like Windows, OS, and Linux. However, there are different disk space for different operating system. So for Windows, the disk space that is required is 1.64 GB, while in macOS, this is required as 2.8 GB, and in Linux, it's around 600 MB. Now, these numbers usually change after a span of time, but this is like the latest information. And the date today is 9 September 2023. So every value is the latest to this date. And of course, Git for version control is required. Later in the next video, probably we'll also see how to install Git. Git is a tool, and we'll also tell you about Git, GitHub, and all the tools. Flutter SDK and dependencies. The Flutter SDK is essential for Android development. Android Studio provides the necessary SDK, and also we need Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. And keep in mind that Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio are two different things. Post installation, setting up the environment is crucial. This includes configuring the path for Flutter, setting up IDE plugins, and having an emulator or a physical device for testing. Later in this course, we'll use both an emulator as well as a physical device that you can call a mobile. And the things like Android Studio are required for downloading some of the SDKs libraries. And also we need Chrome, we need Visual Studio and Visual Studio. Later in the next video, we'll see you how to run the command line tools like Flutter Doctor and all the other command line tools that are required in the Flutter. So these are the prerequisites. Now we can see the capabilities of Flutter. Flutter is more than just app development. From designing captivating UIs to integrating with powerful tools like Firebase, the possibilities are endless. Flutter's strength lies in its rich UI components, its widget based design, customizable themes, and an optimized build process. It delivers fast responsive apps. Flutter isn't just about cross platform. UI allows deep integration with native features, platform specific logic, and other plugins for extended functionality. We can even see the capabilities of Flutter online. Let's check how many developers use Flutter. So you can already see Flutter has already been used by over 2 million of developers and and 500,000 users use it monthly. The numbers are really impressive, but they mostly depend on the popularity of mobile apps among users. The matter is 92% of mobile users spend time with apps and social media and only 8% use use web browsers. So you can only looking at these numbers, you can already see the future of app development and that too with Flutter. And similarly, you can see check out other numbers and like these are some blogs for Flutter, and you can already use this course to learn Flutter at like a very intermediate level. And later on, we can also make an advanced course for Flutter. Let's see what we did till now. So first, we talked about the basics of app development and Flutter. Then we discussed about the power and potential of Flutter. And at the end, we talk about the role of Dart in ideas. And also, we looked at some of the numbers given online about the developers that usually use Flutter and what is the percentage between the people who uses website for information or uses app. So overall, we can say we have journeyed from the understanding the basics to diving deep into Flutter's advanced capabilities and the pivotal role of Dart and the importance of IDE. The world of Flutter is ever revolving, continuous learning, staying updates with Flutter's ecosystem, and being part of its vibrant communities are key to success. In the next video, we'll see the installation processes of Flutter, and we will also install the prerequisites of application that are required for the Flutter. We will see how to install Git, then we will install Flutter SDK, Android Studio, VS Code, and then finally Visual Studio. These are the some of the third-party applications that are required for using Flutter. I can already show some of these apps online. Let's first check out the documentation of Flutter itself. Right? So on Flutter. So there are several ways of installing Flutter. Later in the next video, I'll also show you the demo of how to install Flutter. So these are the different installation ways based on your operating system. So in the next video, we'll majorly focus on Windows. So if you are macOS user or a Linux user or Ubuntu or Chrome OS users, then you can click on these icons. Or for Windows, we'll just directly click. So I'm not showing you how to install Flutter in this video, but in the next video, I'll show you how to do the end-to-end installation of this Flutter and other parties, third parties application. It's just a normal overview. I'm just giving a normal overview so that you can be ready for the next video. So operating system is like a Windows 10 or later. We'll use Windows 11 in our demo. Disk space is 1.64 GB, as I already mentioned in some of the last slides, I guess. And you can see Windows PowerShell. If this is pre-installed with Windows 10 as well as Windows 11. If you don't have Kit, we'll download it Kit. Right now, we don't need to worry about this thing. Later in the next video, I'll show you how to do all these things by my own self. And then there are the Flutter SDKs. You need to download zip disk files. And some of these things like setting the environment values and giving the paths on the system variables or the user variables is a tough task. So we'll cover this part on the next video too. Yeah, this part update your path, user variables, and Flutter Dart. And there's a tool called Flutter Doctor. So Flutter Doctor only tells about like which dependency is missing and how many these third party requirements are already installed and what are left. Flutter Doctor. I can give you a demo about the Doctor, but let's leave it for the next video itself. And then Android SDK. Although we will not use Android Studio, but still we need Android Studio for installing some of the SDKs. And these are some of the other things: Android setup, and we'll install Android Studio. We'll set up our Android device. Either you can use a physical Android device or a mobile, or you can use an Android emulator. So in the next video, I'll show you how to use Android emulator in the Android Studio. And then also we can use a physical UE, means physical phone, a physical mobile. And then you need to like install some of the Android licenses. And for Windows setup, especially this part is important. Visual Studio and Visual Studio build tools. And they're also giving a note saying Visual Studio is different than Studio 4. And these are like setting up an editor, install VS Code, install it on macOS. So we'll show you how to install VS Code also. This Flutter extensions like Flutter, Dart, and even you can use additional extension based on your use case. And we can validate a VS Code setup, and all these things are required. Till then, you can also look at some of these docs because Flutter has provided a very good documentation. You can just click on this docs and you can see what hot reload is, how to perform hot reload. You can also see how to install Flutter, what is profiling, and Flutter performance profiling, cookbooks, and also it has code labs, which is like pretty cool and pretty interesting. And this helped me a lot when I was studying this Flutter. Editor support. You can also look at this multi-platform links, mobile, desktop, embedded, development, Flutter favorites, packages, or you just click on get started and these are the docs and just you need to click on next, 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 and all this stuff. So till this, you can check out these things. And for Android Studio, you can go through this path, but you use Visual Studio Code because Visual Studio Code is used by like this is some of the famous IDE and why people use There IDE. Yes, so there are hundreds of languages. VS Code helps you be instantly proactive with syntax highlighting. Even when writing with the code, we can use various extensions which helped me a lot personally. And also throughout this whole course, we'll also use some AI tools like ChatGPT, and even there are some ChatGPT tools for VS Code itself. We will be using all those new technologies apart from free, aside from learning Android Studio, because all those tools are really important. So that's it for today. That's it for this video, and see you again in the next video. Thank you.